Right then, welcome back to the channel. Stephen Howson, tactical preview here then of Leicester versus Manchester United, Old Trafford this Sunday. Ruud van Nistelrooy's last game in interim charge of Manchester United, but will it be the last time that we see him in the dugout? Obviously, I don't have the answers to that. I personally would keep him around. I think he's got a bit of aura about him. I think he'd have to be the assistant, though. I don't think he's going to come and just be a striking coach after he's been a manager and been in interim charge. I think that'd be a bit much of a drop for him, but I would like to see him kept around if that's what Ruben Amorim wants. Now, we obviously have been undefeated throughout this interim reign with that 2-0 victory over PAOK on Thursday night. We welcome Leicester back to Old Trafford after the League Cup game the other day to sort of round out Ruud's little interim charge. Leicester obviously lost to us 5-2 in the EFL Cup at Old Trafford last week, and although Steve Cooper did name a bit of a B team in there, they have only lost one of their last 4 league matches following a 1-1 draw with Ipswich last week. Nevertheless, United should go into this fairly confident that we can get a result. Under Steve Cooper's management, Leicester have adopted a tactical approach that blends being pragmatic and trying to be dynamic at the same time. Cooper has shown a bit of a preference for stock formations like 4-2-3-1, but occasionally flipping that into a 3-4-3 depending on the opposition. Flexibility allows for adjustments between a number of defensive setups and counter-attacking styles, and when they're defending, they often look to retreat into a bit of a compact block, whether that's mid or low, and then they'll transition into a 4-4-2 or a 3-5-2 shape. It's probably one of the most flexible managers in terms of, like, you see managers using a lot of different formations, but they generally like to have a trend of a back 4 or a back 3 or a back 5 rolling through that, whereas Steve Cooper kind of just, it feels like he picks one out in the morning and rolls with it. But there's obviously some high-level coaching goes into being able to impart that onto your team. Now, unlike the possession-based football that they've had under previous managers such as Maresca, Cooper's tactics do emphasise being quick in the transition, and that can sometimes mean foregoing that heavy possession sort of style. The team looks to try and capitalise on turnovers. They win it, they get forward. The shift is seen as a bit of an adaptation to the intensity of the Premier League, where a more cautious approach might be necessary for survival for them. So they let you have the ball a little bit, but they're all focused on, like, just wait. And then as soon as the ball is lost by the opposition, can we counter? Can we go and make something happen? So that's quite key to what Steve Cooper's looking at doing. It's probably a good idea because you can't go into a side like Leicester and be like, right, let's just dominate the ball in every game. It's not going to work like that. So the players that are crucial to this system, as you can imagine, when you're flipping between a back 4, a back 5, a back 3, is the fullbacks. Now, they're crucial in a lot of systems, but for Steve Cooper especially, fullbacks are massive. They provide defensive stability and extra numbers, as well as width in attack. And they use high fullbacks or wingbacks to help stretch the play. But there's also been criticism because of the inconsistent performances and selection in the team. Cooper's midfield setup quite often involves 2 holding midfielders, look to try and give them a bit of a base, and then, like, leave the attack into the rest of them, and gives a lot more freedom to the sort of attack-minded midfielders or number 10s in that system to try and create and exploit space, particularly in the half space. And he looks to try and play with a bit of purpose. He focuses on regaining possession quickly, playing forward passes, and then maintaining good organisation and structure. He really seems to like brave and confident players on the ball, influenced by probably his time at Liverpool Academy, where he was Ronaldo's under-14s gaffer, and within the England youth setup, where he promised and promoted quite good tactical discipline, actually. Overall, Steve Cooper is attempting to instill a mix of pragmatic, defensive, cautious football that takes advantage of the turnovers against opposition that are probably going to flood your half of the pitch, so you can attack against a weaker amount of players. So it can work. And like I said, formationally, it's quite hard to track because it could be, it genuinely could be 3 or 4 different formations every game. In terms of the star man, I picked him for the League Cup game, but Steve Cooper didn't, and that'd be Jamie Vardy. So Father Time has yet to call his name. 4 goals, 1 assist in 10 games. It's better than our forwards, to be honest with you. Still has a frightening burst of pace. His movement and his sharpness is absolutely still there. He's a deadly finisher. If you give him an opportunity, he will take it. In terms of my Manchester United 11, I'm going with Onana, Mazraoui, Delo. By the looks of it, they could be on either side of the pitch at the moment. The way Ruud has been sort of switching and changing with them. De Ligt alongside Lisandro Martinez. I'm going to maintain Ugarte, Casemiro, Bruno as a midfield 3, and I'd like to see them adapted into that midfield 3. We didn't really see it against PAOK. It was very much a 2-1. But in previous games under Ruud, we have started to see that just turn into a bit of a 3 a little bit. So I'd like them to play as a midfield 3 and not 4-2-3-1. And then Ahmad on the right, and I will go with Rashford on the left. And Højlund down the middle. I wouldn't if I had anybody else. But Xerxes is not an option at the moment, I don't think. In terms of star man, realistically, it should be whoever can go and get us some goals. But I actually don't know who that can be. So I'm going with Mazraoui. Because I think he's been absolutely fantastic. There's a level of consistency and reliability that he's brought, which is absolutely fantastic. Defensively, he brings such solidity. And I think that reliability, that confidence, that assurance in that he'll deal with this is huge for us. His link-up play with Amad Diallo looked promising. He's our most in-form player, let alone defender. He's very good at progressing the ball. His 1v1 defending and his 1v1 battle with Mavididi is going to be key to the outcome of this game. He will be the star man, the match winner for Manchester United in this. And as always, this video is brought to you by our partners at Hollywood Bets, and they've got an exciting Premier League offer for you this weekend. With some of England's top sides in action, you've got a chance to boost your weekend winnings. So the picks that we are going for is Nottingham Forest to win against Newcastle inside 90 minutes. Listen, Forest have been impressive at home, and they've got a strong record at the City Ground, often performing well against decent opposition, and Newcastle have been inconsistent, I think, on the road this year, so they're struggling to convert opportunities. I think Nottingham Forest are a bit of a sneaky shout. I'm going with United against Leicester as well, inside 90 minutes, obviously, and United have shown improved form, particularly at home, where we've historically absolutely dominated Leicester. And United's attack seems like it's gaining a little bit of momentum, and Leicester's away form is unreliable. So I think this one is going to be a favourable fixture for us. I'm going with Arsenal to beat Chelsea. Chelsea have struggled for consistency. Arsenal are on a terrible run, and terrible runs do always come to an end at some point. So I think this is a prime opportunity for Arsenal to capitalise on Chelsea's defensive vulnerabilities and get themselves back amongst the wins. That's been boosted from 8-1 to 10-1. So if you stick a tenner on that, you're going to get 110 quid back. And if you'd like to get involved in this bet boost, then all you got to do is click the link in the description to get started. And if you are new to Hollywood Bets, then creating an account is quick and easy, and new customers can access additional offers. Details for those are also in the description. As always, odds are subject to change, and you must be over 18 years of age to participate. And remember that football can be unpredictable, and while rivalry always delivers drama, this bet is meant to enhance your excitement and your viewing experience. It's certainly no guarantee of a win. And for more gambling information, please check out begambleaware.org. And as always, this bet is brought to you by myself and Hollywood Bets, so click the link in the description or let me know what bets you're going for this week in the comments below. And then, how do we win this game then? I think it's very straightforward. You keep them wide men quiet. If there's any talent in this Leicester side that United have got to be fearful of, it's their wingers. I think Mavidi, I think Fatwu, I think even Jordan Ayew. I think there's talent in their wide areas that could hurt us, especially if we get caught on the counter. It's their most consistent point of attack. You're gonna need Delo and Mazraoui to be on their A game, and I think score early. Don't give them a chance. Don't let them feel like they can be in this game. Just score early and just take the wind out of their sails. We'll have to be clinical as well because the keeper they've got is very good. It alleviates the pressure that can happen when it comes to half-time and the crowd starts getting frustrated, and force Steve Cooper out of their low block. You score early. Teams that come for when they come and set up in a low block, they're coming for the 0-0. They get to half-time, they're halfway there. So you score early and you throw out their plans all out the window, and now they've got to go and try and attack you, or they just accept losing, in which case, sweet. So the best thing you can do against a team that's going to low block you is just score early. It puts the game right in your favour. So that's how I think this game is going to go. As always, thanks to Hollywood Bets. Check the link in the description if you would like to get involved in that. Otherwise, I will see you after the game. Have a good one. Laters.
Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.